Hello,
Hello, Prade.
how are you, Peter?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Great. Where are you now? Where are you based?
I am right now. I'm in the U.S. I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah.
The office is based in India, but I live in the U.S. I've been moving back and forth since I started the business,
Okay.
and COVID has kind of pretty much
Separated.
separated and closed the traveling. So the
Yeah.
traveling goes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been here doing R&D, remotely managing the team. As it is, everybody's working from home, so it didn't make much difference other than the time difference. So I manage the early morning sessions or late night sessions from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. And I'm so looking forward to. I feel that your case is so fascinating. I've been working with healthcare startups for a couple of years, and especially involved in both working with Sahlgrenska, of course, as we heard yesterday, but also with the community in Health Tech Nordic. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Artelus. I just want to understand, when did it start? So how did it start, the idea?
So we started in 2015, 2014, 15, when deep learning was just beginning to come back
Yeah,
from a hibernation, AI hibernation. And there were issues with solving medical problems using image recognition and pathology recognition from images. So back then, I kind of went back and applied some of my earlier experiences in AI. I've done some AI work in 90s, but then it was all put away. So we took up the challenge of building something that would be able to read images, X-rays, or what MRIs, any medical images. And this is before Google's TensorFlow had come out and other people had come out. So we used all the open source like Theanos and Cafe and others, and we hacked a model to read retinopathy in the ophthalmic images. There was an open competition, so we downloaded all the open images and we were able to read them at very high sensitivity for the disease.
yeah,
And that set us into motion. 2015, all of that work was done. In 2016, we did some validation studies and we used some doctors in Chicago to read images with their expertise. So an ophthalmologist in Chicago and our machine read the same set of database out of a France study called Messidor study. And our numbers were significantly better in some cases from a general ophthalmologist. So they submitted the result to American Academy, and American Academy received us very strongly. They made us a Best Poster Award in 2016.
oh,
And so
wow.
rather than continue being the R&D mode, we just went ahead and applied it to the field. So my co-founder, she was of the opinion that R&D is done. We have
Yeah,
achieved our numbers. Let's apply this and let's make a difference. So Raji, who's not here today, was able to get us in the field, and we were working screening people as early as late 2016. So almost 2 years or 2.5 years before the big boys got into the game of screening people. So till date, we have screened over 80,000 people, and we have found almost over 15,000 positive cases that we have put into the treatment pathway. And
wow.
yes, thank you. And what is holding us back is our scaling. So we are
Yeah,
getting ready to get funding and scale. And so that has been, so our funding has been very tight. We have angel funded. We have not raised. So initially it was all my money. We put our founders put all their money in, and then angels came along when they heard our story, and then we got a grant from Qualcomm. Qualcomm has been a very good partner with us, so they gave us a grant. They also gave us some strategic investment. Not, I won't call it investment. It was a competition.
yeah,
So one interesting thing that had happened during our time was when we were going to the field, we were targeting all the rural areas. We were not targeting anything in the cities. So when
no,
we would go to the rural area, internet connectivity was very poor. and we would lose out on a lot of experiences, or we would lose out on a lot of patients because the net would go down, specifically in the countryside in rural India or even rural Africa, anywhere, rural America.
Yeah.
Net is not as pervasive. So what ended up happening is Qualcomm had put out a challenge to bring all our IP onto a small, literally a small USB stick.
Yeah.
So they had used a Snapdragon chip, and they wanted us to see if we could build our AI footprint onto a chip. So we used what we call shrinking algorithms, and we were able to reduce all our footprint onto a small chip and disable the need for the internet. So now it's all local. Our machine, so I have a machine sitting on my desk. I'll just push my laptop. That's the ophthalmic machine. And that machine doesn't need an internet. This is where all our algorithms reside. And we can just connect the image acquired from that machine to this. It reads the image, sends it back. And at the point of care, diagnosis is done. No internet needed.
Wow.
So this allowed us to go deep into the rural areas, deep into areas where internet and cell phone coverage was missing.
Yeah.
So it opened up the field. Yes, sir.
That's really cool. And if you want to do learning, or if you want to do updates on the models, then you can use like batch updating.
Whenever we would come back into the cities, so the data gets uploaded. So till then, the data is residing on the computer that is associated with the capturing device.
Yeah. And you produce both the hardware and the software, or you?
No.
No?
We do all the software. The hardware, we work with hardware web vendors.
Yeah.
So there are multiple. So we are hardware agnostic. So any good camera maker, like the one from Optomed from Finland, or OptoView from US, or PistolView from Taiwan, Zeiss from Switzerland, Germany, .com. It's open season. We need an image that we will read. Hardware becomes, it's not our expertise, honestly. So we want to tie up with hardware vendors, go back to the old days. You know, when the PCs were coming out, they were dumb PCs, and then they got smarter. And then the cell phones came out, the old Nokia phones and the old, they were all dumb phones, and then the smartphones came out. So we believe all these X-ray machines and the MRI machines are dumb machines today. They will get smarter with integration of AI, and we want to be one of them who will, enable that to happen.
Yeah. So you will, within a couple of years, you will be moving from being an external party to the hardware to maybe being internal.
We hope to tie closely with them. Yeah. So we are working with a camera maker and asking them to integrate our software with their hardware to go in a. But there's still that competitiveness in the market, and people are still trying to find. I call it positioning. So one camera maker does not want to tie with one software maker, because what if there is a better software maker somewhere else? And the same goes for the software maker. What if there's a better camera maker somewhere else? Yeah. So that positioning should shake out over the coming year or two. And then they will, like Intel and Microsoft created a very tight relationship. Intel, Microsoft is well known, Wintel. So that relationship did not happen overnight. It took them a while. And so we are hoping that ecosystem kind of comes together. It's sad because every day that competitiveness exists, people are suffering. So, we wish we had 1,000 other companies like ours screening millions of people, because there's at least 3 billion people worldwide without access to healthcare. At least. I could be wrong, but I know it is at least 3 billion people, and we are only touching 80,000.
Yeah,
that's not even a drop in the bucket. Literally, not even a drop. It's atomic level.
Yeah, I want to mention to the audience here tuning in as well that you can use the chat to ask questions to both me and Pradip here. So we got a question here, Pradip, from the audience that and you're in that area of answering right now. But what do you see happening looking forward? What do you think will happen? Will people use their phones to screen their eyes, or do you still need? Can you combine our AI with that type of camera technology, or what do you see happening?
So that has been a question that has been asked for as long as we have been doing this, 4 years now. A lot of places have tried to build a camera phone attachment. There are two elements to the capturing of the eyes. One is the patient's directly, their eyes will not be stable. So taking a selfie of the retina, which is the back of the eye, is even harder. And the other is the sensors, the optics of the camera. So camera optics are the easier part. It's the back of the eye, the patient, that is difficult. I'm optimistic. I think this will become a cell phone attachment where we will be able to put this to the eye and then have the camera take the photo. So I believe it will happen. It could happen as early as a year from now, or maybe another year and a half. MIT tried something maybe 2 years back. MIT tried an eye selfie camera. They couldn't work it out. The quality was not good enough. Berkeley, there was another professor out of Berkeley who tried something, and again, the quality didn't match. It is there. There is another researcher in New Zealand who's produced something. It is there. But the quality needed to have the machine read and determine pathologies is missing. So we want it. We want it to go home. We want everybody to be able to use their phone and take a picture and upload, or the software can sit on the phone and read it. So then they can read as many times as they want, and they don't have to worry about it. It's like a home glucometer, check your glucose at home. We want it. We would love to see that happen.
So moving the healthcare services from really hard and complex software to, but the smartness being done on the units instead.
Right.
And what do you want to see? Because you're attending Sweden Innovation Days now, but what do you want to see for Artelus happening in the coming 6 to 12 months?
So there is a concept called retailization of healthcare. Healthcare is moving to the retail outlets. In the US, in India, everywhere globally, people are not wanting to go see a doctor in a doctor's office for basic lab work or basic checkups. So they're moving to the retail. We want to see in the next coming 6 months to a year, more adoption of people, more adoption from communities to go get community screening done at an outlet mall or at a clinic, retail clinic, minute clinic like CVS and Walgreens, or at Boots, but not having to take that appointment, wait for months and go see an ophthalmologist. So we want that community screening to become like going in to buy a pizza. So more people make it more accessible. So the AI is making it affordable. The awareness is still missing, so we raise the awareness level and make it more accessible, so people can go get their screening done wherever possible.
Do you see this being developed into self-service as well?
Oh yes, absolutely. So our next generation model that we're discussing with our camera partner calls for a selfie, but it is not. It's still a machine. It's not a phone, but it is a smaller form factor. It's like the size of a laptop, and it sits at your chin level, and you can operate it directly. So in a kiosk. So it is self-service. It is kiosk, and there will be one attendant in case you run into some technical difficulty. But like a self-checkout in a grocery store. Same concept. That is on our radar, and we hope to make that happen in a year or so or less. Good question.
Do you but it's a super interesting field, and I agree with you. There's gonna be a lot of transformation within this field right now. Do you have any call for actions for yourself or for your company? What type of help would you want to take advantage of in this community as Sweden Innovation Days could be?
So we have two challenges. Challenge one is we have built something good, and we would love to see that being used by millions of people. And that is a scaling challenge, and that is predicated on either good quality community health partnerships. If we had, so all of this screening has been done by us. We have, other than the Qualcomm help that is external, we have done it all out of our pockets. We want partners to either work with us, take our software, and spread it. We absolutely want this to be a less than $5 per patient cost. So take this, spread it out. Africa and other parts of the world, it can be done for no cost.
Yeah.
Money is secondary to raising the awareness. Our call to action: use it. We have the algorithms, drds.artelus.com. We have it on our website. If you want to take a picture of your retina and run it up and see how you are, but that still requires a picture taken. So proliferating the image capturing devices is the challenge here, the key here. So our call to action is spread the word, get more people involved. I'll share a scary statistics. 50%, and I'm rounding this up and down a little bit, but 50% of people in the world who have diabetes don't realize that they can also go blind with the complication of diabetes. 50%. 50%. 50% of people with glaucoma are undetected. And 50% of people with retinopathy are undetected. Meaning that out of the 50 who are undetected, 10 of those could go permanently blind, 1/3 roughly. 15 could go permanently blind. So that awareness is a huge, huge thing. People with diabetes don't know that they could go blind.
No.
And doctors can tell you all they want, but if the doctor does not get you a test to determine the level of impact in your vasculature of the eye, it's a lost cause. So yes, if there's a huge tsunami of people coming that would have permanent blindness.
Pradip, thank you so much. I hope you will stay in the chat because we are going to go back to the main stage now. And thank you for trying to solve and contribute to such a big global problem. I'm looking forward to following your journey. So thank you so much, and I'll see you more in the chat. And if there's any more questions, just reach out to Pradip here in the chat.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.